The Rubik's Cube world record has just been broken. It is now 4.74 seconds. Check it out.
Sam! Yeah! Yeah!
That is the fastest any human has ever solved a Rubik's Cube. It was set on the weekend just gone when I was lucky enough to actually be at the UK Rubik's Championship, where this record was not set. It was actually set at a competition in Indonesia by a guy called Mats Volk, who is from the Netherlands, but he didn't come to the UK Championship because he's actually studying in Singapore at the moment. Not that I'm bitter I missed out or anything, and what a phenomenal time it is, under 5 seconds. He managed to solve a Rubik's Cube and set the world record faster than I can tell you that someone has set a new world record. So check it out. This is my introduction from the beginning of the video you're currently enjoying, and this is Matt's setting the world record. Watch. The Rubik's Cube world record has just been broken. It is now 4.74 seconds. See, the Rubik's Cube is solved faster than I can tell you about it. Now, if you want to know how it was actually done, this is the actual scramble that he started with at the beginning of the solve. This is what he was faced with when he set the world record. And at the end of the video, I'm going to have a breakdown of how he actually solved this Rubik's Cube in such a tiny amount of time. But before then, I thought it would be nice to actually have a talk to the man who set the record. And I'm actually joined here by Mats Volk. Hello, Mats. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks. How are you?
I'm okay. You've had a more successful Rubik's Cube competition over the weekend than I did. So have you been doing non-stop media since then? Are you now?
Yeah, I had a lot of media inquiries, like from all around the world. But I also had 2 tasks last week, which I had to prepare for a little more. So it was completely chaos and only a couple of hours of sleep every night. But it's good fun.
Did you have to fly and do any interviews, or you just did them all over the Skype? Or did you have to say,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I've got a test?
I stayed here in Singapore. Well, I was flying back on Monday, but we missed our flight because we had a couple of beers on Sunday night, and then we woke up too late. But I've been doing a lot of interviews.
So the post-Rubik's Cube celebrations were too much. So good.
But yeah, I did a lot of interviews over Skype, calling, and also some just over the email.
So now, when you actually broke the record, were you going into the championship thinking, I think I'm at record-breaking level, or did it come as a surprise to you as well?
It actually came as a big surprise. Well, it's obviously the world record, and it's not easy to beat that, because if it was easy, then it would have already been broken.
Already been beaten, yeah.
So I think on the Earth there are maybe 10 people who are capable of breaking the world record, and after that it's just a matter of going to a competition, being in the right shape, having a little bit of luck, and doing it there right on spot. And I was fortunate enough to do that last weekend.
So actually, when you got the scramble you were given, did you look at it and go, I'm in for a shot with a very fast time, or did it just work out very nicely towards the end?
Both. Okay, so you probably noted as well, you solve a cross first.
Yep.
On that scramble, I usually start with blue, but I looked a bit through the other colors, and it turned out that green was only 3 moves away from the cross being solved, which is...
Yeah, I saw it was a 3-twist cross.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. And I was already able to see, I think, 2 pairs during the inspection. So that's not bad at all. You can do maybe 50 moves after the cross, straight away. So I knew it was going to be a pretty decent time. And then I had a little bit of luck because I was able to force skip the OLL, the 6th out of the 7th step. And then I was lucky with the PLL skip in the end.
I recreated yourself because I looked up online what the scramble was. At the end, were you looking ahead and saving moves? Because I was like, well, hang on, that corner and edge hasn't gone in yet. But you've parked it somewhere else, knowing you can skip orientating the final layer.
Exactly.
If you put it in at a different time.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference between, because a lot of people practice and get down to about 30 seconds on a Rubik's Cube, or possibly down. But to get sub 5 second times, you've got to be thinking on the fly about being, you know, doing things slightly different earlier to set up some efficiencies later.
Yeah, but still, you don't have to do like very fancy stuff like I did. Like do a forced OLL skip is like not required at all to be sub 10. Like with just like all the regular algs, you should be able to like easily get to 8 seconds.
So when did you first get into Rubik's cubing? Like what got you to your first competition?
Well, so I started when I was 11, 9 years ago. I was still in my last year of elementary school, and my teacher, she brought the cube into class, and I was interested. I thought it was like impossible challenge, so I was like pushing myself to learn that. And then after a week, I was able to solve first the 2 layers by myself, like without any help. And then I went to my mom because I wasn't able to solve the last layer, and it turned out that she still had a book from the 80s that fully describes how to solve the Rubik's cube. So she gave that to me. And I started reading, and I think it took me another week, I think, before I was able to solve the Rubik's Cube. And it was just like as slow as anyone else, maybe like 10 minutes, maybe even worse.
Yeah.
And after that, I just kept practicing. And I kind of knew there were Rubik's Cube competitions, but at that moment, I was not like fully aware of that. And then it was like by accident, I went to this puzzle fair, and it happened that the Dutch national championships were held over there. Yeah, like I didn't want to enter first, but then there were some people at the competition, like they convinced me to eventually do that. Maybe you know, actually, Erik Akkersdijk. He was the guy who had the world record in 2008 with 7:08 seconds.
Yes.
I met him at that competition, and then he convinced me of like actually competing at that competition. So that's
he didn't know what he was starting. He's like, well, now you actually have your own range of Rubik's
I do,
cubes.
yeah. This is one of it.
Oh, right. How did that happen?
It's a Volk 3.
All right, that's one there.
So I got invited last year to come to the Chinese championship by this company called Ji Mowanger. And then I went to the factory, their office, and we had a lot of good talks. And then they came up with the idea of making the Volk 3, like my Rubik's Cube. So we discussed a lot on like what, in my opinion, would be the perfect Rubik's Cube. And then they sent me a couple of designs, and I said, well, okay, this is good, this is bad, this is good. They said a couple of more designs, and it takes quite a long time to make those molds. So it took us like 5 months after the first design and the actual release. But now I'm really happy how it turned out. I used this cube to set the world record, so that's really good, I think. And I've only had
there you go. So
from other people.
I know how you feel about getting stuff made because I run a website called Maskia, where we make ridiculous mathematical toys. And so it's a long, slow process getting stuff made. But I have just ordered I got some Volk 3 cubes that we've put on Maskia.
You did?
So I only got a couple, but I thought if people watch this and they want to get one,
that'd be
they
great.
can go onto Maskia. And I now stock your cube.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
you are the only cube on Maskia.
Yeah.
That's what an honor. What, you know, you thought winning the world record was exciting. My goodness, being on Maskia.
I was about to say that, like, I'll send you a couple of these cubes, but since you already ordered them.
I could have got them for free. Unbelievable.
Too bad.
So, one day. So, thank you very much, Mats Volk, for spending some time explaining the Rubik's Cube.
Thanks for having me. It was good.
All right, see you soon.
All right, cheers.
So how did Mats take this scrambled Rubik's Cube and solve it so efficiently? Sadly, even if you take the footage from his solve and slow it down to 1/4 of its normal speed, he's still moving too fast for the video to be that insightful. Instead, I've done some research online. That's how I found the exact scramble he started with. I have also found a list of the individual twists he did to complete the solve. So this is my breakdown of how you solve a Rubik's Cube in under 5 seconds. If you'd like to play along, get yourself a Rubik's Cube with the green facing you and red on the right. This is now the scramble we have to do. If you're not familiar with the notation, you've got B that represents the back face, F for front, R for right, L for left face, finally U for up, and D for the down face. So where you see B2, that means you've got to get the back face and rotate it twice. We've now got F2, so that's the front face, twice. And then where you've just got one letter, D, it means you rotate that face in a clockwise direction. So D is a single clockwise move there. You've now got left 2, facing 2, left 2, a single clockwise move, right 2, back 2, facing 2, up 2, left 2, left 2. Now back is a single where you see a dash means you go anti-clockwise. It's a single anti-clockwise move on the back. Left 2, right 2, down, single anti-clockwise move, up 2, left 2, up, single anti-clockwise, right, anti-clockwise, face anti-clockwise, right, clockwise. What you end up here is the scramble that he actually faced in the competition. So if you have a look at the mat, you can see it's positioned like, there we go, like that. That's the same arrangement. Okay, now we can actually do the solve. So we started with the orange one facing him, blue on top and white over on the right. We're going to do the left anti-clockwise, a single twist. We're then going to take the down clockwise and then the right, a complete 2 rotations. And you think, well, what does that achieve? We'll have a look. On the bottom, there's a cross. So this is the cross setup, and not only are these green cross ones in the right position, but they're already lined up with the center ones on all the other faces. So in those 3 twists, he's already got the first step completed. There are now 4 steps, and each one of those steps fills in a bottom corner and matching edge. So we'll do the first one first. So that is a right twist, up, back, again, left, back, and then left. So that corner piece has now been put in to match the bottom, and that edge piece is in there as well. The same thing should happen when we do the next one. I'm just blindly following along. So up 2, right, up, back. Oh, now, the lowercase d means instead of rotating down anti-clockwise by itself, you actually rotate it with the layer above it as well. So you get that. And if we have a look around again, we will see, over here it is. So now so as well as the first corner over there, we got this corner is put in place and the next edge up. Up next, that Y means we have to reorientate the cube clockwise in the vertical Y axis like so. So we've got U2, right, U5, up, L, U5, up. And so if you have a look, there we go. All right, so we've now got those are in, those are in, those are in. All we have to do are the last 2 over here. So right, let's do them. U2 and R prime U2, U2. We should have all 4 of these. Those are in place, those are in place, those are in place, and oh, they're not. Now, this is what threw me the first time I followed these steps, because I expected to see the yellow, red, green pair put in over here. They're not here. They're all the way around over here. There they are. What are they doing there? They should be in here. Well, in this incredibly clever move, Mats has paired them up. He's also managed to pair these up, and he's made his future life a whole lot easier. So let's carry on with the steps as shown. So his next moves are, and watch this is incredible. So he's gone R prime there, U there, R prime, face right, face prime, it's all starting to come together here. U, so that is a single twist over there, and then a right, and that's pretty much it. It's now a single U, and it's solved. So by not blindly putting in the 4th pair straight away, but rather by hiding it somewhere else, he's able to set up and save a whole lot of orientating and positioning the last layer. Incredible.
If you'd like to learn more about competitive Rubik's Cube solving, I was actually at the UK Championship to make a YouTube video about it, so you can check that out there. If it's not available yet, because we're still frantically editing it, which is very much the case at the moment, then you can subscribe to my channel and you'll find out as soon as it is available, as well as all sorts of other ridiculous maths related videos. Quick thanks for this video. Obviously, thank you very much to Mats Volk for being interviewed by me, as well as letting me use the footage from his world record solve. Please do check out his YouTube channel and his Facebook. I'll put the links down below. Thanks to the people on the Cubers subreddit. They're the ones who reverse engineered what the scramble was and how Mats actually solved it. I'll have a link to the discussion thread around his original video down below. And finally, thanks to Masgear, which is effectively thanking myself and some chump called Steve Mould. So we managed to get a few of the Volk 3 cubes on there. If they prove popular, we'll get some more in, but please do check it out. We have loads of other fantastic maths toys.